Welcome to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show and our summer specials, talking football right throughout the summer, and we like to give you a little flavour of some legends of football, past, and a few who are still playing in the present as well, and some working as coaches and managers. And Ruffy and myself are delighted that Darren Jackson is our guest. There's no point in me trying to go through every club that he played for, because that would basically be, Ruffy, the end of the programme, and we'd have to just wish everybody good night. But I'm going to make a stab at it and just go Meadowbank, Newcastle, Hearts, Hibs, Celtic, and after that I'm goosed.
Do you want me to go through it?
Yeah.
Meadowbank, Newcastle, Dundee United, Hibs, Celtic, Coventry on loan, China for 8 days, Hearts, Livingston, St Johnstone.
You know, I was actually going to throw in St Johnstone. I can't believe I've forgotten Dundee United. I mean, that just gives you an indication. How can I forget Dundee United? And here's the toughest part of it, where even I've known you for all these years, what happened in China?
That wasn't for me.
No.
I mean, it was incredible. I think I lost, I was really thin then.
Yeah.
And I think I lost half a stone in 8 days. It was incredible, just because the food was raw, and so I just thought, no, head back.
Yeah, maybe an idea for us to go to China.
So you were just in trial? Was it just a trial?
I was just going out to have a look at the club,
so
yes,
you hadn't
and
really
then
signed
no,
anything?
hadn't signed. And the boy Glenn Helder, he played for Arsenal.
Yeah, yeah.
He was hyper, and he actually kept me there for 8 days, because every day I was like, no, I'm going home. No, stay. So I stayed 8 days, and then just thought, no, it's not for me.
What year was that?
19, could have been 2000.
Yeah, because a lot of guys have actually tried and failed as well, going there.
Yeah, it's a hard place to go, obviously.
Yeah. Ryan McGowan stayed for quite a while.
Yeah, Gowser enjoyed it. He really enjoyed it, but I didn't actually get to where I was going to play. We were in Shanghai and in Beijing at training camps. And it was just, I mean, you couldn't, the food was, as I say, everything was raw, and you're looking for a shop to try and get crisps or chocolate or something. There was nothing, so you were just in, as I say, 8 days, and then I just thought, no, head home.
Yeah.
Well, it's amazing, you know, that people always think it's better on the other side, you know, and then you go over there and you notice wee things like that, and obviously the language would have been a problem. You'd be used to.
Oh no, I can speak Chinese.
Oh,
yeah.
What, yeah. Number 44, number 45 and 46.
Yeah, I knew you'd get it down to that level. Here's a tougher question for you. Where was your most enjoyable time?
Peter, I get asked that all the time,
Yeah.
and I've got to say, I loved every club because it was different.
Yeah.
Obviously, Meadowbank, where I started out, I was a young kid. They were all older pros, and they just totally looked after me.
Yeah.
And then went down to Newcastle, and it was just an incredible place. Playing with Gaza and Peter Beardsley, Paul Goddard, just fantastic players, and full house every week with mad Geordies. And then Dundee United, everyone knows how wee Jim was, but everyone was treated the same, so,
so you all got it.
True, but we all got it, so everyone was together, and at that time everyone had to stay in Dundee, so if there was a night out, everybody was there and all that. So, and I'm not going to go on through every club, but Hibs 5 years, the longest time I was at a club. Celtic winning the league, Hearts was brilliant, and to go on, it was just two months with Gordon Strachan was absolute outstanding.
Yeah.
So I loved them all.
Can I ask you about the Newcastle? And everybody talks about the passion in Newcastle. Is it the same as Rangers and Celtic?
Yes, without doubt. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, I think in a Geordie man's life, it's football, drinking, women.
Wow.
I mean, that's their life.
Yeah.
I mean,
In
the
that
football,
order?
in that order. Honestly, in that order.
Let's give China a miss.
Yeah, absolutely.
The passion. I mean, if you were to build a stadium down there at 100,000, you would get 100,000 every week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable. It is in comparison with the old firm.
Yeah, I mean, and let's not forget, we've got to mention the fact that you had a really good career at international level with Scotland as well. We'll touch on that in probably the second part of the programme, but the strange thing is there are many players that the perception and the reality of them are two totally different things, you know.
Where are you going with this?
Well, the reason why I'm saying that is because we've known each other such a long time from living in Edinburgh. If I was to say to somebody, you know, do you know Darren Jackson? Do you know? And they'd be like, you know, the steam starts coming up into their eyes because you were really, you know, you were one of those guys that there was no, you either Marmite, love or hate you. If you're playing for your team, they love you. If you're not, you're number one target.
Well, that didn't bother me, Peter.
Yeah.
And I kind of thrived on it a little bit as well. But when I went out onto the park, I was there to win for my team. I wasn't there to please or anybody else, the other team or the other team supporters or the other team manager. I didn't go out to upset them, but I was just fully focused on my team winning. Yeah. And that's all I was worried about. And each team I went on to, and it was the same. Yeah. So if fans didn't like me on the pitch, it's strange sometimes that I would go out and a guy was probably looking at me and saying, you want to have a right go at me, and I would actually just go over and start talking to him. Yeah. And he'd just be like, he's all right. So that's the way I played. Yeah. I just played for my team and to try and win the game. And
did you feel as if you had to work harder, like for example the Hearts situation? Did you feel as if you had to work harder to win them over?
Well, going from Hibs and not being liked. Really not being liked by the Hearts fans. But it was a time, and I can remember it to this day. Jim Jeffries phoned me and just said, "Could you handle it?" And I just said, "Yes." And he put the phone down. That was it. That's all he wanted to know. Could I handle the situation? And I went in there. And probably what helped me was that they were bottom of the league. Yeah. So if they're going to get on to me, it wasn't going to help the team. Yes. But thankfully, I had a great start. I think it was 9 games till the end of the season. I think we won 7, drew 1, and lost 1. Yeah. So, and I played my part like every player played their part. So that gave me a good start at Hearts, and it's the only place I've had a great reception when I went back with another team.
Yeah.
And see, when you do that kind of thing, you go Hibs to Hearts, scoring goals too easy to win them over with, or do you have to offer something else?
Ruffy, I just think just go out and give them 100%. Yeah. That's all you can give them. I've never been into badge kissing or trying to play up to the fans just to get them on my side. Just go out and play well and give them 100%, and they'll see that and they'll hopefully take to you.
Yeah, because the thing about it is, there's a lot of Dion badges, and if he had to kiss all the badges he's played for, he'd have no teeth left. But that is a good point, because I don't see you as I see your commitment on the field of absolutely. Your game was a lot of hard graft, as well as the undoubted skills you had in scoring goals too. But there was a modern day footballer.
Yes. Yeah, I went out and. A forward, especially at international football, probably not so much club level. I didn't get taken off as much, but international level, I think when I played with Scotland with Craig, and I'm not wanting to miss anybody out, but obviously there was a lot of great strikers there, but mostly the strikers always got taken off. Yes. Apart from Gordon Jury, because he was Duracell batteries. Because you had to defend from the front, because we knew as a team. Yes, we had a lot of talented players, but we weren't going to be the most talented team in the world. So we had to work. Everybody had to work hard, but the forwards had to work exceptionally hard to trying to stop the defenders, the midfielders playing. So at international level, got taken off more than, but that was because you're working so hard. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great insight into it as well, to be perfectly honest with you. And again, Ruffy, I think that's an interesting point that Darren was making there. We'll talk more in the second part of the programme with him. But, the reception he got when going back to Hearts.
Yeah, I mean, I've never experienced it before because it's obviously never happened to me. But I can imagine, and obviously Maurice Johnston's the biggest one.
Yeah.
You know, and Maurice used to tell us how he won over the fans, and I think you've got to win them over, haven't you?
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't win over them right away, you're in trouble.
Well, of course, Morris would win them over because Morris was an exceptional player, and they knew they were getting an exceptional player. Do you know what I mean? And I know that it was a huge, massive thing at the time.
Yeah.
But he went in there, and I think he was top goal scorer in the first season.
Yeah.
Now there's going to be fans who I'll never like him because of what happened. But a football fan, I would always like Maurice Johnston.
Yeah, I don't think he'll get a good reception going back to certain clubs, but that's a competition for another day. We're back after the break. Welcome back to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show and our summer specials. Hopefully you're enjoying our continued football chat throughout the summer. Ruffy and I have been on the road. Of course, we're bringing you the best of programmes as well, where we have guests in all over the season. We've had a fair few and really enjoyable ones as well, and I'm delighted that Darren Jackson is with us to talk over his career as well. We talked about the club football. Just before we go into international football, were there particular goals that in your career pleased you? Because one of the ones that sticks in my mind, in fact, I'll let you tell me if there are any goals that were favourites of yours and for a specific reason.
Probably the best goal I scored was for Scotland B, and unfortunately it was never on camera. So I can tell you what I want, really.
Yeah, you beat 7 men.
No, but actually, I tried to play a ball to Colin Cameron, and I chipped it and it came back out. It was against Northern Ireland, and I was probably about 30 yards out in line with the penalty box, and I've chested it, lobbed it over the boy's head and volleyed it right into the far top corner, and I was gutted when I heard that the cameras weren't there. And that was honestly how it went. But no, there is goals that I really enjoyed. Probably sentimental reasons that the goal I enjoyed scoring for Celtic up at Aberdeen after my brain operation, where I dived into the crowd, and it was just sheer emotion. And at that time, I forget who the referee was, but he didn't book me, and I think he knew the reason why I was doing it, and that's why he didn't book me, because normally they did book me.
For coming on.
But
at a particular time.
That probably sticks in my mind, that it was a goal that was just amazing.
Yeah, I actually thought you were going to pick the one, and I'm wrong. I thought you were going to pick the one at McDermott Park, because that was a cracker as well, and that was at a period as well, wasn't it?
No, that was right at the start of the season. I think that was my second goal.
Yeah.
I loved that. I loved that goal. That was the first goal in the league, so it was a great goal. But I've got a few, but that one probably for sentimental reasons. It was great.
Was there just on that point? Was there because of the illness, and I think, am I right, hydrocephalus was the problem, where basically there was an organ in the back of your neck that didn't actually take the fluid out of your brain?
Just in my head, there's two valves in your head, and I had it since birth, and it wasn't open properly, so the water couldn't circulate. And I was just at Troon, we were playing Tyrol in the UEFA Cup. Yeah. And I just woke up with a headache, and Brian Scott gave me a couple of paracetamols, and then just going to the game, I was named in, strangely enough, I was named in the team actually. Yeah. And I just went up and just said, I can't play, my head's too sore, and they just thought it was maybe a migraine. Yeah. And then obviously they went the next day, I got the scan, and they weren't very sure what it was, so I had to go back the following day and get another scan. And then one Tuesday I was meant to be playing against Tyrol, the following Tuesday I was in getting, they drill a hole in your head and laser another passage, just leave the valve, but laser another passageway so the water just circulates.
And was it something you had to live with, that you knew it could happen at any time? Was there a warning that,
no,
look, this...
Roughly, I woke up with a headache. Now you could play at any club in the world, but because the doctor at the time, Jack Mulhern, had the same thing, so if you had anything wrong with your head, he sent you in for a scan. Which is great. So, by the way, you were talking about being at Barcelona or Juventus. I could have been there, and you mightn't have got sent for a scan right away. They might have just thought, it's a headache or it's a migraine. Yeah. So luckily Jack was there, and I've got to say, Celtic, Jack, Brian Scott, Jock Brown, everybody at Celtic was absolutely different class, and obviously the surgeon, Dr. Philip Barlow, was amazing. Yeah. Did you get emotional about the groundswell of backing that you got from the supporters as well? Well, funny you say that. I've just moved house, and all the cards, letters, everything I got my dad kept in files. And so I've just been moving everything, and I was looking back in some, and there was a few tears. Yeah, it was incredible. I've got like boxes full of folders with cards, and as I say, letters and all that from all over.
Yeah,
all over. And it was just very, very emotional, and at the time I just couldn't thank everybody enough for the support.
yeah. Was there a moment where you were? I mean, there's always a moment with any injury where you think, you know, some guys. Classic example, and the best and the most emotional I've been this season, Jordan Moore.
Yeah.
You know, when somebody says you're 99% cancer, it's not looking good for you, and Jordan Moore says I'm going to be the 1%.
Yeah.
Did you have that type of moment? Could you relate to what he was saying?
Well, I can remember being told, and my ex-wife Arlene, at the time we weren't married, we went into Glasgow, and I just stood, and I just thought, it's over. I've just arrived at one of the biggest clubs in the world, and it's over. But then I had to go back that afternoon to speak to the surgeon what they were going to do with Jock and Scotty, and then I was out 9 weeks. You could be out longer with the hamstring.
Yeah.
I was out 9 weeks, and back. And I can remember my first training session. I was doing running with Scotty, and he says, "Go and join in." I said, "You sure?" And yeah, go and join in. And we shouted to him, and yeah, going on. And I went on, and someone crossed there, and I headed it. And honestly, the boys were just standing like... that was the honest truth. I can remember that the cross came over and I headed it and actually scored.
Yeah.
Great, well, I'm not saying great memories, but memories of how people treated you and looked after you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a good tale, isn't it, Ruffy?
Yeah, and we've had a few on the couch. There's been a lot of people coming in, you know, with all the different stories, and I think that's what I think when we get guys on and the guys telling us, I think supporters realise what football players go through. They think you think you're alien.
Well, just talking about
stuff.
Jordan, we've been so emotionally involved with Jordan, and the kid is just all he thinks about is scoring goals, and we just want him on that park and scoring goals, and his determination to get through this has just been incredible. And because you can get all the support you want, and he's had all the support from everybody at the club, from everybody outside the club, because of obviously the illness, but because of the person. But you just want him on that park scoring goals, because he's just a fantastic boy.
Yeah, I mean, international football, for you, you're part of a team and a squad that's the last Scotland squad that we've had in a major finals. You'd never believe that, wouldn't you?
No, never believed that. I mean, luckily I went to the European Championships just before it as well, Euro 96. And if I'm being truthful, I was very, very, very lucky to play with the players I played with at Scotland. I say that to Craig, and Craig says, well, you may be doing yourself
an injustice.
Yeah. But I was very lucky. We had some great players, fantastic players at the time, who, and I think this is a big thing, who were playing at the highest level in Europe at the time.
Yeah.
And I think that makes a massive difference. And you know that, Ruffy.
Well, that was a massive difference with our team.
Yeah.
When we got to, I think it was Spain, we had, correct me if I'm wrong, 5 or 6 European Cup winners.
Yeah, that's right.
No in the squad.
So it's like club level, European, then international. I think you've got to be tested at European level before international level. But now it's just totally changed. And I always said, for the 2 months I worked with Gordon, and I worked with a lot of great managers, fantastic managers. I loved working with Gordon for the 2 months I was down at Coventry. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, and of the games that you played in, is there one that stands out?
I was very, very happy with my debut in Russia. We drew 0-0, which was a massive result for us.
Yeah.
But the one that stands out is the opening game, the World Cup against Brazil. I don't think it gets any better.
No, it doesn't get any better.
And ask Craig, when Craig was on the couch, about the kilts. You know, whose idea was that?
I couldn't tell you who's. As I say, I was going through all the stuff in my house today, and there was a couple of photos, and I sent one of Jackie. I can show you on my phone, one of Jackie and Simon. They're about 12. and one with Tosh, Billy McKinley, myself and Derek White, and I sent it to them. Great photos, and we were immaculate. Nowadays, you couldn't do that now. Because of social media, you couldn't do that. Yeah. Nobody knew. The families, all the boys' families never knew a thing. And we walked out onto that park, and you actually felt 10 foot tall. It was just one of the massive high points.
And just briefly, before he's got 2 Zico shirts, whose shirt have you got?
I got Junior Baiano. It was the first person I got. I was the first person to be booked. And it was him. What happened was, obviously, we were all saying to Ronaldo swap strips after the game. He's like, yeah, no problem. So I thought, I'm going to be in the tunnel, and I'll wait for him. And so I was kind of first in the tunnel, and Junior Baiano came in. He was like, swap shirt. I was going to turn around and say, no, big man, I'm waiting for Ronaldo. So just happy to get a strip, and it was amazing.
Listen, we could probably talk even more with Darren Jackson about great memories from international football and, of course, club football as well. It's been an absolute joy just talking about his commitment and a great example to any footballer to give your all, no matter where you are. From Ruffy, myself and from Darren, hopefully you enjoyed the programme. There's more to come.